Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of our English Learning Podcast. We are delighted to have you with us today. Whether you are listening for the first time or you have followed all our previous episodes, thank you for joining us.
Today's episode is all about applying for a part-time job, a topic that is useful for students, professionals, and anyone looking to gain work experience. Don't forget that this podcast is not only for adults. It is for teenagers, university students, and anyone who wants to improve their English listening and speaking skills.
If you enjoy today's lesson, please subscribe to our channel, share this podcast with your friends and family, and leave a comment below telling us where you are listening from. Now, let's begin.
I think today's topic is one that many of our listeners can relate to. At some point in life, most people have thought about applying for a part-time job. Some people want to earn extra money, while others simply want to gain experience and develop new skills. What do you think is the main reason why people look for part-time work?
I believe there are several reasons, and they all depend on a person's circumstances. For many students, a part-time job provides financial independence because they no longer have to rely entirely on their parents or guardians. They can pay for their transport, books, meals, or even save money for future goals. However, earning money is only one benefit. A part-time job also teaches valuable life skills, such as time management, communication, responsibility, and teamwork. Employers often value candidates who have previous work experience, even if it was only part-time. It shows that the person understands the importance of being punctual, following instructions, working with colleagues, and dealing with customers professionally. In my opinion, these experiences can make someone much more confident, both personally and professionally.
That is an excellent point. Many people think that only full-time jobs are important, but I believe part-time work can also have a significant impact on someone's future career. Suppose one of our listeners has never applied for a job before. What should be the very first step?
The first step should always be understanding what kind of job you want and what skills you already have. Before applying, it is important to read the job advertisement carefully and understand what the employer is looking for. Some jobs require previous experience, while others are happy to train new employees. Candidates should also think about their own availability. For example, students should consider their class timetable before accepting a job, because balancing work and study requires careful planning. After that, they should prepare a professional CV that clearly presents their education, skills, achievements, and any previous work or voluntary experience. Even if someone has never worked before, they can still include school projects, volunteering, language skills, computer skills, or extracurricular activities. Every experience demonstrates something positive about the applicant.
I completely agree. Many people worry because they have never had a job before, but they forget that employers also appreciate honesty, enthusiasm, and a willingness to learn. Speaking of CVs, what advice would you give someone who is writing one for the first time?
My advice would be to keep the CV clear, organized, and easy to read. Employers often receive many applications, so a well-structured CV creates a positive first impression. Begin with your personal details, followed by a short personal profile explaining who you are and what you are looking for. Then include your education, relevant skills, work experience, and references if available. It is also important to check for spelling and grammar mistakes, because they can make an employer question your attention to detail. Furthermore, applicants should avoid exaggerating their abilities. It is always better to be honest, because employers may ask questions during the interview, and honesty helps build trust from the beginning. That brings us nicely to interviews. Many people feel nervous before attending their first job interview. Why do you think interviews can be so stressful?
Interviews can feel stressful because people naturally want to make a good impression. They may worry about answering questions incorrectly or forgetting important information. However, preparation makes a tremendous difference. Before the interview, candidates should research the company, understand the role they are applying for, and practice answering common interview questions. They should also think of examples from their own experiences that demonstrate qualities such as teamwork, problem-solving, communication, and responsibility. Dressing appropriately, arriving early, maintaining eye contact, and speaking politely all contribute to creating a professional image. It is perfectly normal to feel nervous, but employers understand that applicants, especially young people, may be anxious. What matters most is showing genuine interest, confidence, and a positive attitude.
I think confidence is something that develops over time. The first interview may feel intimidating, but each interview teaches valuable lessons. Have you ever heard people say that rejection means failure?
Yes, I have heard that many times, but I strongly disagree with that idea. Rejection is simply part of the learning process. Every unsuccessful application provides valuable experience that can help someone improve. Perhaps the CV could be stronger, the interview answers could be clearer, or another candidate simply had more experience. None of these reasons mean that the applicant lacks potential. Successful people often receive many rejections before achieving their goals. The important thing is to ask for feedback whenever possible, reflect on the experience, and continue applying. Persistence is one of the most valuable qualities anyone can develop.
That's an inspiring message. Another question our listeners might have is where they can actually find part-time jobs. There seem to be so many options nowadays.
Absolutely. Nowadays, job seekers have access to many different resources. They can search online job websites, company websites, university career services, local newspapers, or notice boards in shops and community centres. Many supermarkets, cafes, restaurants, libraries, and retail stores regularly advertise part-time positions. It is also worthwhile speaking to friends, family members, teachers, or neighbours, because personal recommendations can sometimes lead to opportunities that are not widely advertised. Networking should never be underestimated. Sometimes simply telling people that you are looking for work can open unexpected doors.
That reminds me of another important point. Once someone gets a part-time job, they need to balance their responsibilities. This can be difficult, especially for students.
I couldn't agree more. Managing both work and study requires excellent organisation. Students should create weekly schedules that include classes, homework, revision, work shifts, and time to rest. It is important not to accept more working hours than they can realistically manage. Although earning money is valuable, education should remain a priority for most students. Employers generally appreciate honesty, so if examinations are approaching, employees should communicate with their managers in advance. Good planning helps reduce stress and allows people to perform well in both areas of their lives.
Finally, Sarah, if one of our listeners is still unsure about applying for a part-time job because they lack confidence, what would you like to say to encourage them?
I would encourage them not to underestimate themselves. Every experienced employee was once a beginner. No one starts with years of experience or complete confidence. What employers often appreciate most is reliability, honesty, enthusiasm, and a willingness to learn. If you prepare carefully, present yourself professionally, and remain positive, you will continue improving with every application and every interview. Even if the first opportunity does not work out, another one certainly will. Every step you take brings you closer to achieving your goals, and every experience helps you become more capable and confident.
Sarah, after discussing everything today, I think many listeners will realize that applying for a part-time job is about much more than simply earning money.
I completely agree. A part-time job can help people become more independent, responsible, and confident. It also teaches practical skills that cannot always be learned in a classroom. Whether someone works in a cafe, a shop, a library, or an office, they learn how to communicate effectively, solve problems, and work with different people. These experiences often become valuable examples during future interviews for full-time employment.
I also think people sometimes compare themselves with others too much. They see friends finding jobs quickly and begin to worry if their own applications are unsuccessful.
That is true, but everyone has a different journey. Some people receive an offer after their first application, while others need to apply several times before finding the right opportunity. The important thing is not to lose motivation. Every application improves your writing, every interview improves your communication, and every experience increases your confidence. Success rarely happens overnight, but persistence usually brings positive results.
Another important lesson is that professionalism matters from the very beginning. Small details such as arriving on time, dressing appropriately, speaking politely, and showing respect leave lasting impressions.
Exactly. Employers remember applicants who demonstrate good manners, enthusiasm, and a genuine interest in the role. Even if someone lacks experience, these personal qualities often make a strong impression. Furthermore, people should continue learning after they begin working. Asking sensible questions, listening carefully to colleagues, and accepting constructive feedback all contribute to personal and professional growth.
I hope our listeners now feel more confident about taking the first step. Applying for a part-time job may seem challenging at first, but with preparation, determination, and patience, it becomes much more manageable.
Absolutely. Remember that every successful career begins with a first opportunity. Do not be afraid to try, to learn from your mistakes, and to continue improving. Believe in your abilities, work hard, and remain positive. Your next application could be the one that changes your future.
That brings us to the end of today's episode. We sincerely hope you enjoyed our discussion and learned some useful English expressions related to applying for a part-time job.
If you found this episode helpful, please subscribe to our channel, give this video a like, and share it with your friends, classmates, colleagues, and family members, so that more people can improve their English with us.
We would also love to hear from you. Please leave a comment below telling us what you thought about today's lesson and whether you have ever applied for a part-time job. We'd enjoy reading about your experiences.
Most importantly, let us know which topics you would like us to discuss in future episodes. Whether you want lessons about everyday conversations, job interviews, travel, education, business English, pronunciation, grammar, or anything else, please tell us in the comments. We carefully read your suggestions, and we will do our best to create future lessons based on what you would like to learn.
Thank you very much for listening, and we look forward to seeing you again in our next episode.
Until next time, keep practicing, keep listening, and keep believing in your progress. Goodbye, everyone.